So thank you very much for being with us here today, Jordin. It means a lot to our community, means a lot to our people, and especially the youth of our nation. You've been a very bright example as to how to lead with a good strength, good resiliency, and just really appreciate you being here. My first question is kind of basic. Do you see yourself as an activist in the Aboriginal community, or non-Aboriginal community even?
Yeah, I sure do, and I think it's very important that everyone is engaged in some type of activism, and for me, it's about being a positive role model in my community. It's about being humble and kind in the things that you believe in, and it's not always about the glamour and the fame, and ultimately, it's about being comfortable and content in your own skin.
Do you still feel or experience, racism in sports, racism in life in general?
Yeah, it's a tough subject for, especially people that grow up in isolated First Nation communities and small communities. And I think there's a lot of things that go on that we can't control. I can't control what other people say about me or whatever, as long as I know that I'm true and honest, and that's all I can care about. And that comes down to loving yourself and being at peace of who you are and where you come from.
So is there any one event or one situation or one person in your life that really kind of steers you towards a leadership role in Aboriginal communities?
Yeah, there has. In 2002, I lost my brother to suicide, and he was a great role model for me growing up as his younger brother. He was 3 years older than me, and he really taught me the values of being a family person and having that role of taking care of your family and the people around you. And he was someone that I truly admire and I think of daily. And to me, it's suicide. You'll never know the answers. Ultimately, it's about having that inner strength to turn the page and celebrate that person's life by taking on a role. And for me, it's about suicide prevention, mental health, and our youth are our future. And I just try and take on that role of showing other people that when you lose a loved one, a friend, a family member, that it's not the end of the world.
How did you cope with that loss, and how do you continue to move forward in such a positive way?
Every one of us has a purpose on this earth, and it's up to that individual to find out what that is. And sometimes it takes a little soul searching, but it really helps you look into the mirror and look at yourself, and I think that has to come from an inner strength, and that's for me, it's when you find your true colors and being content in your own body and being proud of who you are and where you come from. And all that comes from, cultural and traditional aspects for me. And that's what I really grew, I grew up going out hunting and fishing, and that's where I found peace, and that's where it basically all began with me. You start becoming confident, when you're out skinning a deer or caribou or gutting a fish. Those little things, when you perfect those, you slowly gain confidence, and that's for me, that's how I really dug down and asked for help. And I've been sober for 6 years now, and it's a daily battle. It really helps you look into the mirror and look at yourself and dig deep down inside to help you find that inner strength, and obviously having a great support system. I think that's really important. And for me, my family's been behind me. I have a great fan base that, you know, I really admire, and you know, it's a privilege to do what I do, and I don't take it for granted.